it's Jonathan from Behind the Build, and I wanted to make you aware of a change. What you'll see in the title of the releases is Behind the Build AD and Behind the Build ID. Behind the Build AD is architectural design. Anything associated with architectural design will be released on Mondays. Behind the Build ID is interior design. Anything to do with interior design and its consultants will be released on Thursdays. I would ask kindly that as you hear this, if you could, to find the rating system in the format that you listen and consume Behind the Build, and please give it 5 stars. It helps us with overall engagement and visibility with a new audience. With that said, please enjoy today's episode. Welcome to Behind the Build. I'm your host, Jonathan Jacobs, and today I've got with me a gentleman who I connected with a number of years ago, and we talked about the possibility of maybe one day we would expand into one of the regions where he works a lot. I've got with me today a gentleman whose name is Brad Abbott from Abbott Design here in Toronto. And Brad, thanks for joining.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
So for those that know Brad, you know that he's pretty much a very, very easygoing, great guy. If you don't know his architecture, well, you can head over to Behind the Build on Instagram and you can find it there, or you can go to his website. Before we get into Brad's story, I want to take a quick moment to speak to you about the doors. And just before you fast forward anything, just hear this, because they're a Toronto-based family-owned window and door supplier working across Canada, parts of the US, and now into some of those beautiful islands. They specialize in high-performance European systems and work with top manufacturers, including Rayners, Schuco, and Aluplast. For projects like the ones Brad designs in Collingwood and Thornbury, that area of north of Toronto where views and expansive glazing matter, they deliver everything from 20-foot full curtain walls and potentially, if you wanted, curved glass to passive house level performance. They offer aluminum wood-clad, wood and steel systems, as well as, if you need it, fiberglass or vinyl options for the more budget-conscious builds or renovations. What sets them apart is that everything is handled in-house. Estimating, fabrication, system cutting, and installation are all managed by their own team. They even operate their own spider crane, which helps control scheduling and eliminate common site delays. When they're on a project, they're focused on hitting timelines and delivering clean installs. If you'd like to learn more, check the liner notes or reach out directly and I'll connect you. Now, back to Brad. Largely contemporary and modern projects. He has a great depth of knowledge of architecture and interiors. He's great. So I'm going to get into the whole backstory of how Brad came to be who he is and how his practice has made a really strong impression upon the Collingwood and Thornbury, that whole area. So,
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Well, how far back do you want me to go?
Well, are you ready for the first question? Here's the first question.
Okay.
So I always want to know from everyone, like for you, what was it in your life, earliest memories that allowed you to be able to experiment with your level of both creativity and design, whether it was drawing or it was Lego or it was like stacking pots and pans? Like what were you like as a kid? And the second part of that is, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah. Well, a shout out to Winnipeg. I'm a Winnipegger.
Okay.
From the Midwest, I guess, in Canada it's called. So yeah, and creativity wise, I came from a family of doctors.
Okay.
My father was an obstetrician and gynecologist, and grandfather a surgeon. And actually in Winnipeg, there's a prominent clinic called the Abbott Clinic that has been there for 3 generations. And tragically, I'm the first generation to let them all down.
That's okay. You became surgical in your own practice.
Yes, now an architectural surgeon. Yeah, no, I did actually start out at university with a view to going into medicine, and through no pressure from the family at all. Dad just wanted me to be happy in whatever I was doing. And I got into
Well, hold on. Before we skip, you just skipped over like 18 years of
oh
life.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
hold on.
Well, I was, yeah. To answer your first question, I was always a sketcher,
Okay.
always doodling,
Yep.
and
What did you doodle? Were you
oh, airplanes, and you know what kids do, you know, airplanes firing at other airplanes,
Yep.
and
Little war picturesque.
yeah. Did I draw buildings? I don't recall
Well,
whether
maybe
I
they were
did or
being
not.
blown up.
Yeah. Well, and also maybe caricatures. I would draw
Okay.
people. And my mother always thought I should go work for Walt Disney and be a cartoonist. And she actually kept pressing that for some time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you ever taking classes or extracurricular programs after school that would kind of hone in on that skill set? Or was it more of just a hobby in your free time?
Yeah. I would say it was more a hobby and free time. I
Okay.
didn't take any formal art training
No?
or drawing classes. No.
Okay. And do you feel like it progressed as you got older? Like, did you start to understand depth when you were working on that? Like shadowing and shading and
Oh, did the drawing get better?
yeah.
Yeah, I would say I probably did because I enjoyed doing it, and I would, yeah, I guess I do recall going through grade school, and I used to be pulled out of classes to do murals if there's a special event coming, Valentine's
Yeah,
Day or
yeah, yeah.
Easter or whatever, or graduation day. They would have me. Oh, we. I remember doing a big poster of voyageurs or something for maybe it was Louis Riel Day in Manitoba, and so I would be out there and I'd sort of rough out the murals, and the less talented kids would fill them in, paint by numbers. But
You better keep that coloring inside the lines.
yeah, hey, you're out of here. Exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, that's a fun memory I got out of a lot of schoolwork, school time.
I actually had this. I don't know if I feel like I did tell this story at one point on here, but I same thing when I was in elementary school. I was pulled out of my classes for doing different murals and stuff, and there was a period of time where at Sick Kids they had asked students from different parts of Toronto to come because they were going to be painting all these murals all over the halls,
Mm.
and they wanted the kids from local schools to come and do it.
Huh?
And I remember doing that, and then as I was leaving, I met Pat Hankin, one of the Blue Jays.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
wearing a Jays hat. Like a
Oh,
fond memory.
so you're an accomplished artist in your own right.
I mean, I don't know if it continues now. I guess unless this is a form of artistry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all are creative in our own ways.
So what did you do in terms of extracurriculars? Were you playing sports?
Well, you can't grow up in Winnipeg without playing hockey.
Okay.
So there was hockey, and
Yep.
then age 12, when I was age 12, my parents got back into skiing after a 20-year hiatus. And and it's funny, no one thinks of skiing in Manitoba, but about an hour and a half south and west of Winnipeg is River Valley, the Pembina River Valley, that has a 300 vertical drop. By comparison, Collingwood locally here is about twice that.
Yeah.
So not a big ski hill, but it was only one of two in Manitoba at the time. And we would go there on weekends and ski. And it was the most unique little environment because at the time CPR was selling off their wooden boxcars,
Okay.
railway boxcars,
Yeah.
and you could buy one for $100 and have it delivered to site. And they take the wheels off and they plunk it there, and
Yeah.
then you'd renovate it into a ski chalet.
No way.
A little, yeah. So there was this ring of boxcars, and we paint them different colors, and my family had one, and then across the way was a bachelor who had a pad with shag carpeting and a waterbed and mirrors on the ceiling. I remember as little kids going over there and lying on his waterbed and saying, "Whoa, I want to be like this guy."
Now with that knowledge, don't you regret lying on that waterbed?
Yes, yes. I don't know how safe that was, but no, he was a great friend. And so there was this circle of cabins, cabooses, and some would do two boxcars with a link between it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was quite a creative little environment. In fact, the New York Times actually published an article about this little
Really?
unique ski village in Manitoba.
When did they publish it?
Oh,
like decades ago?
Oh yeah,
You're talking.
yeah.
Okay,
No, at
okay,
the time,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And so
So skiing was a big part of the
yeah,
last part I did
extracurriculars.
extracurricular.
And what were the subjects that you feel like you connected with most when you were in school?
In school, well, I really liked art history.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly as we got into the university, and any creative drawing work and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
History. I'm still a history buff.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly not science and art, or science and math,
Math.
which would have led me in a different direction.
Right.
And
So
which proved to be the case.
so what was it? Because you say you initially applied to go to med school.
Well, yeah, you got to take a couple years of general science.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did go in that, and knew after the first semester that it was not my bag. Chemistry, physics, and in anybody who's gone through pre-medical science and the general sciences, you get in. At least in Manitoba, we were in a classroom of 1,600 kids
Right.
with a video monitor
Right.
at the front. You never saw a professor, and it was cutthroat. Everybody wanted to get into medicine,
I'm
so
sure.
they all were vying for best marks, and so you're just in the air. You just felt the competition. It was just uncomfortable. So anyway, at the middle of that first year, we had a ski trip to Utah
Okay.
from Winnipeg. And back in the day, no one flew there. You got on a bus, and you had 3 days of frivolity and partying on a bus to Utah.
With one bathroom. In
Oh,
the
one
back.
bathroom, yeah, yeah. And everybody sitting
Oh,
on
hold it.
cases of beer, yeah. You had time to get loaded and then sober up 3 or 4 times before you got there. But on this bus was a bunch of guys that were in architecture at Manitoba.
And yeah, apparently a great school.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, and through the 50s, 60s, it became a very famous architectural school, Russell Architectural School, and it's still, I think, it's fairly well regarded. But what struck me was these guys were so excited about what they were doing in school. I figured, is school ever that much fun? I mean, how could it be? And so when I got back from the ski trip, they invited me to join their studio and just hang out, and which I did, and I could see what they were doing, and I enrolled the next term.
Unbelievable. So it was just a transfer within the school to a different program.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any credit for my science.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying you don't have to switch schools.
No, it was just another building on the campus.
So what did that feel like? I mean, you've gone from something that you didn't necessarily know you would like, and you turned out that you didn't, to then enrolling into something that you thought, well, this could be interesting. And
yeah.
How many weeks in was it or months in before you felt like you were at home?
Oh, I think immediately.
Really?
Yeah. No. The hardest part was the conversation with my father, which didn't turn out to be difficult at all, because as I say, he just wanted me to do what I enjoy doing, and no pressure to join the family clinic. Yeah. So right out of the gate, and I did well right away too.
And what did it look like? You walk away from medicine to walk into architecture. What were some of the moments that you had in the beginning there where, to your point, you say right away, you just feel this connection? What about it made you feel that way?
I think it was just drawing and creating. Maybe as all of a sudden I'm working with the proper side of my brain for my personality. It just felt comfortable, and I felt engaged, and I felt I was being successful at it. Whereas in science, it was just fear, fear of flunking and not making the grades. So yeah, instantly I got along well with the program. It was a lot of work. I mean,
of course,
anybody who's gone through architecture knows that you spend 18 hours a day in the studio, and you sleep there often, and a lot of all-nighters, and so it's not without a lot of hard work, but the work was easy because it was fun.
Because you liked it, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're working with people that are of the same mindset, the same level of ambition. Yeah. Those that aren't, leave, right? Yeah. And go maybe sign up for medicine.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, I think, what was it? The first year they failed half the class.
Right.
Because there's only so many that fit into the second year. So I know some schools will take everybody through the 5 years and then cut at the last year, which I don't think is very fair at all. But
Yeah.
we had a lot in our first year, then only half went forward.
And what were some of the core lessons that you felt when you were leaving the school that you had been instilled in you, that you felt when you were going out into the professional world? Maybe even before that. Was there a co-op at any stage?
No.
Okay.
Our program, what I did the first 3 years of architecture school in Manitoba is called a Bachelor of Environmental Design.
Yeah. Okay.
Environmental Studies, actually, 3 years. So to toot my own horn, I graduated with a gold medal for highest standing.
There you go.
Yeah, which is kind of fun because my grandfather in 1916 or something won the gold medal in medicine
No
from the
way.
University of Manitoba.
So did you tell your dad, see, I brought it back?
Yeah. Well, my mother was pretty happy. She had my grandfather's medal and my medal encased in plexi, and still sits on a shelf somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. But so that was kind of cool. And but then after 3 years, you have to make a decision on going into a master's of architecture at Manitoba,
Okay.
or move on somewhere else. And I'd lived my whole life in Winnipeg at that time, and it was time to. I wanted to get out and see a bit of the world. So, I didn't. If it was to do it today, I would have pushed for maybe an Ivy League school because I had top marks.
Yeah.
I could have maybe done a Harvard or Rice School in one of the prominent architectural schools in the U.S. But I know my dad wasn't going to pay for it. But I didn't have the wherewithal to look at scholarships and things like that, which I probably could have gotten. But so I regret that.
I mean, I'll say this, just as you say that, if you would have done that, the rest of what we talk about from this point forward would not be the same.
Oh, no.
So,
yeah.
No,
I could be a professor somewhere or not even practicing.
Right?
Yeah, who knows?
So I don't know. I
there may not be in Canada.
I look back on I think it's worth looking back on things and saying, could have done that, but then also I wouldn't have what I have now and wouldn't have learned what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Just a different perspective on the same thing.
Yeah.
And so where did you end up after those 3 years?
I applied probably to 3 or 4 schools and ended up selecting Carleton University in Ottawa.
Okay.
So what they have there is a 5-year B-Arch program. And so I was able to feed into the 4th year after my 3 years in Manitoba.
Okay.
So I didn't lose any time.
Okay.
Not that that's all that important. Yeah, so I went right into the 4th and 5th year and met a great group of people in Ottawa and hung out there, and still close to skiing, so I was able to do some skiing.
Yep.
Lived in the Glebe, if anybody knows Ottawa. It's a very cool inner city neighborhood full of embassies for different countries, as well as student ghetto housing all mixed together. It's very cool.
They put the diplomats with the degenerates.
They do. It's a very odd neighborhood. And it's right on the canal. So I would try to...
You got special license plates and kids on bikes.
Yeah, you get the red license plates and kids on bikes. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Just have this visual.
Yeah. Do you see that?
Sorry, so you're saying, so you...
and I was only half a block from the canal.
Yeah.
So in the wintertime, I would skate down the canal to Carleton. And that was kind of unique.
What a special thing to be able to come from Winnipeg to go there and experience that type of have that type of an experience in school.
Yeah,
Totally different.
Another type of winter experience for sure.
And so, what did it look like when you graduated from there? So you graduated with was it a master's degree or was it a bachelor?
Another bachelor degree.
Okay.
So I've got a Bachelor of Environmental Studies from Manitoba and a Bachelor of Architecture from
Carleton. Okay,
Yeah.
Got it.
So I guess if I wanted to teach in a university, they'd probably want a master's, I guess. So I'd have to.
Do you want to teach a university?
No,
well, then there you go.
No, it wasn't ever part
Sorry, universities, you can't have Brad.
Yeah, that's right.
On his terms.
But again, if I can toot my own horn, I was top of my class there as well. And
good for you.
They handed out an award for the highest student, graduating student of any university, any architectural university in Ontario.
Okay.
So Guelph, Waterloo,
U of T.
U of T.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was able to get that, and that offered a scholarship to travel with.
Oh.
So that
Oh,
leads into the next chapter.
here we go. I like, by the way, you should know this is the format where you're compelled to toot your own horn.
Oh, yes. Well, I took
You
that
must.
liberty already.
You must.
Yeah.
Look, to me, this is legacy of career, right? And
Mhm.
what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're doing. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's a testimony of how much I was enjoying the project,
Yeah.
or the program, and how I was able to thrive.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's go into some travel. Let's go.
Yeah,
Choose. For those of you that aren't aware, there were a series of books that came out a couple decades ago called Choose Your Own Adventure. And so we're about to get into Brad's.
And here's where we could blow the whole podcast.
Let's go.
Because I could take a lot of time on my year of living dangerously, as I call it.
Let's do it. You want to go? Let's go give it like 10, 15 minutes. Go for it.
Yeah, because really the scholarship came with no real agenda.
Yeah.
It was a cash prize, and I wrote a little story saying that I was going to go travel the world and study architecture in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wide open. So I started off working for an architectural firm that my grandfather was able to introduce me to. A friend of his was working in the West End of London.
Okay.
Portland Place, which for those in architecture will know it's very close to the Architectural Institute in London, which is a prominent design school.
Yep.
So I was working there, and I was put with a few of the partners that were the creative partners in the office. So I just did creative. I wasn't bogged down with any sort of detailing stairs in a hospital or something like that.
Yeah, or going and making the applications for competitions in different places that a lot of the young, intern architects or juniors have to go do.
Yeah, yeah.
Incredible. Okay. Yeah. What a
great
start.
A lot of creativity there, and it was fun.
And what were some of the things you got to work on?
Well, there were some large scale planning projects and some oddball sort of concepts that we worked up. None of that I can really recall in detail.
That's fine.
I wasn't there all that long. I was probably worked with this firm for 5 months.
Okay.
And then because I did everything backwards, I should have traveled first and then settled back in London to work, because I had the travel itch from the moment I hit the ground there. And some friends in Winnipeg, and you'll love this, husband and wife team, they live for skiing. And so they wrote me a letter. Of course, no emails back then, but they wrote me a letter and said, we're going to go to Munich and buy a BMW off the line. And we're going to go from ski area to ski area for the winter. And if you're open to it, we'd like you to join us.
So for anyone listening right now, you don't know this, it's worth noting that I do love cars.
Oh, yes.
I have I think the first thing that I ever read was Road and Track.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like, what are the 0 to 60 times on cars? I had a subscription to that when I was a nothing.
Oh, right.
So telling a story of going and purchasing a BMW off the line.
Yeah.
Like, hell yes.
Pretty creative. Yeah.
Okay.
For them to think of doing this, and then they shipped it home at the end.
Of course they did.
Their year.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
What?
Now we're somewhat dented up by the time
whatever.
You're hard to drive through.
You don't even want to get it fixed. You want to remember the dents.
Yeah, exactly. There's where the memories are. Quite right.
So what? So you quit and joined them in the car? You met them in Munich?
Yeah. No, I met them in Switzerland.
Okay.
Interlaken.
Okay.
I remember just packed up my gear and had to buy some skis. I didn't have anything there. I wasn't intending on doing this.
Like, you're recalling this right now as you're saying it.
Yeah, but just chugged over there, and we went all through Switzerland and Italy and France, skiing all the major ski areas. Yeah, now I'm revisiting those in my later life and with
Glorious.
fond memories of the
S-
past.
Was there a moment you ever had at the top of one of those mountains where you had made a turn and you realized that you may or may not be in over your head on what is like off piste or
Oh, yeah, we lost a guy that we were skiing with in Val d'Isere. Fell into a crevasse.
no way?
Yeah, an Argentinian kid. And, the one thing about traveling, it was very cool. There was no agenda.
Yeah,
Every
of
day was
course.
different.
Yeah,
And
you don't know who you're gonna be.
didn't know what I was going to do the next day. And you fall into groups of friends wherever you go. You meet them on the train,
Yeah,
you meet them in stations and whatnot. And we had a good group in Val d'Isere, probably a half a dozen of us that skied together.
yeah.
And one of them just was too far to the right and disappeared. And
Crazy.
dug him out, but he was dead.
I'm sorry for bringing up that.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
didn't get to know him too well, but of course you feel for him for
Yeah, of
sure.
course. Well, and you're also
Yeah.
going, then you're at that point you're kind of like shaking, trembling, and you're like, do I want to keep going today, or am I going to want to keep going at all right now?
Exactly.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
unnerving.
Well,
Okay.
we did go. We did carry on with our trip, and
And the rest of it, how like did you ever experience anything like where you're in waist deep or?
well, my next story. So
Yes.
so we probably skied with these friends for the two with the car for a couple of months, and then we decided well the ski season was closing, so I thought I'd do something else, and I had another friend coming over from Winnipeg who we wanted to meet up with. So just on a whim, we said, well, why don't we meet in Barcelona? And I was in France at the time, so I had to hitchhike down to Barcelona.
Yep.
And we said, well, where are we going to meet? Well, in Barcelona, there must be a zoo. Every town has a zoo. So we'll meet at the gates to the Barcelona Zoo on such and such a date. And, again, without email and cell phones, it's, you never know whether these things are going to work out. But sure enough, we met.
Before we hear more of what this experience was like at the conclusion of Brad's experience in Europe, well, I want to tell you a little bit about one of the other partners we work with, and it's Kaplan's. Kaplan's works at this intersection of performance and experience. In homes like the one Brad describes, where views are expansive and kitchens are often the anchor of the main living space, but the quality of the appliances just matter as much as the view itself. Whether the priority is ultra quiet performance that lets the landscape take center stage, or a statement piece like La Cornue Range that becomes part of the architecture, Kaplan's meets clients exactly where they are. They work with homeowners, builders, architects, and designers across all budget levels, offering brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher and Paykel, Jen Air, and more. What truly sets them apart is the experience. Their showrooms are thoughtfully designed, and clients can explore options while enjoying a meal prepared by their in house chef. It completely transforms the appliance selection from a transaction into something really memorable. They also support outdoor living with brands like Lynx, Urban Bonfire, Kalamazoo, and DCS Outdoor, which pairs perfectly with projects overlooking Georgian Bay and beyond. If you'd like to learn more, head to the liner notes or reach out to me directly and I'll connect you. Now, let's get back to this incredible story that Brad's telling.
And then we started traveling, and my mother had a good friend who lived in Majorca in the winters. And so we went from Barcelona on a ferry over to the island of Majorca and cruised around there. Had a couple of days with the aunt. And then on our way back, we're backpacking, of course, like all kids did back then.
Yeah.
And we spied a yacht in the yacht basin with flying a Canadian flag. And
Come on.
and these are all gated.
I said
yacht
choose your own
clubs.
adventure. I did not realize it was real. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And stop me if this is taking too long.
Now, are you kidding me?
So we throw our backpacks over the fence and hop over and trundle off to the yacht quay. And so there was this Canadian boat with a flag on it, and we introduced ourselves to the owner. And then right across from it was this most gorgeous 104-foot sloop that
I don't know what a sloop is.
a sloop is. It's it's the way it's rigged. There's two masts
Okay.
and a mizzen mast and a main mast, and then 3 or 4 jibs. It's a huge amount of sail. It's
Yeah.
a racing boat.
Yeah. Okay.
And this particular sloop was actually the racing yacht for King Edward VII of England. And it was now owned by a consortium of 5 British guys. And as with most of these yacht basins, the owners are rarely there, and
Yes.
there's a bunch of guys that hang out
Yeah.
and look
Look
after the
it.
boats.
Yeah.
And so we befriended the guy on the, not so much the Canadian guy, but the British guys.
There's something better over there.
Yeah.
Sir, nice to meet you. We're going to go spend our time with the cooler boat.
Yeah, we really like that boat. And so over a few days of partying with these guys, they invited us, and I think they were desperate because there's me, a kid from Winnipeg, and my friend, a kid from Edmonton, fairly landlocked cities that didn't see a lot of large yachts and sailboats. They invited us to get the boat from Mallorca to Corfu for the charter season.
Come on.
Yeah. So, and so we spent the next few days provisioning it and getting it all ready to sail. And they put new radar and whatnot on it. And then we went out for a few test runs to make sure we could all figure out
what your roles were.
Yeah, because it's 4,000 square feet of sail on this boat and 104 feet long. And we needed 5 people to run it. There was a couple from the state of Maine in the U.S. Were accomplished sailors. And she acted as the cook, and he was actually the first mate.
Okay.
And one of the owners, a Brit, was also on the boat.
Oh, so one of the owners was there. So
yeah.
at least you had the authority from them to.
Yes.
A blessing.
It was official.
Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't beat up in a bar and handcuffed and thrown on board.
I just to say this, Brad asked me before we started, he's like, so give me a list of questions. And I said, don't worry, we're just going to go.
No agenda.
And this is why on this podcast, there are no premeditated, like specific questions, because who the hell knew that we were going to end up talking about you somehow finagling your way onto a 104-foot sloop. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go.
Okay. Well,
I'll stop.
Again, stop me.
No. We're good. Go.
Because the adventure begins.
Yes.
As we head out for Corfu. And it's Bluebird Day, dolphins swimming at the bowsprit as we're heading off the island and heading east towards Corfu and Greece. And that was idyllic for the first 3 days or so. And then all hell broke loose in the middle of the night on our fourth night. Force 10 wind blew up, which is near hurricane force. And my buddy and I were in the down below. We go on, I think it was 8-hour watches.
Okay.
So we were off watch. We were sleeping. And we heard this tremendous crash, and the boom for the mainsail is analogous to a telephone pole, about that size.
Yep.
And it jibed in the middle of the night and split in half.
Whoa.
And we're bouncing around in these huge seas. And so we were all hands on deck. So all 5 of us were up, virtually cutting sail loose. This boat, because it's a racing sloop and has so much sail, it has 19 tons of lead in the keel to keep it
straight,
counterbalance the sail. And so we were afraid of floundering and sinking this thing in the middle of the Mediterranean in May. And so we got the thing under control and got the diesel engine started. And I was virtually tied to the mizzen mast where the wheel was, and told to steer into the wind and just ride this thing out until it calmed down. I was on deck steering that boat by myself till 5 a.m.
Out from what time?
From midnight.
For 5 hours.
For 5 hours, all by myself. 100 feet away, the bowsprit would be digging into the trough of the same wave I'm standing on the crest of at the back of the boat.
Yes.
The stern, if I should be nautical about it.
Yeah.
and then the bowsprit would go through that wave, and the wave would come right over the
Crashing down
boat
on you.
and it would pound me to the deck, and the wheel would be doing this,
Yep.
and I'd grab it and pull myself up and start again. And in the morning when they came up to relieve me, they had to pry my fingers off the wheel. It was I was so chilled and hypothermic.
I'm
almost.
sure.
Yeah. And we floundered around in the med for probably five days before we could figure out where we
where you
were
were,
and where
yeah.
we were going. We tried to find Sardinia and missed it. Tried to find Corsica and missed it, and then ended up finally pulling into Palermo in Sicily, and spent probably better part of a week getting the boat put back together, because they had paying guests coming from California for the first charter ride of the season.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry, the boat's broken.
Oh, you paid a couple $dollars for this? This is what you get.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, they're lucky they had a boat to come back to.
Well, there was a boat to come back to for the time being, and not to finish the story too early. We took the pole, or the boom,
Yeah.
and actually spliced it with steel rods all alongside and bolted through. So it was very jerry-rigged. If there was any real wind coming up, it would probably split again, or bend at least, or do something. But we spliced it all together and hooked the sails up, and everything looked normal.
Some bubblicious in there, yeah. Just
Yeah,
like stick it on there.
And then the guests did arrive in Palermo, actually, and the first leg was to go to Corfu, and so I saw them, how they spread out all the dinners and really lavish food and for these guests and stuff, and then we head off to Corfu. I'd had enough of the boat by that time,
I'm sure.
and but my buddy from Edmonton had no money, so he had to get back to London somehow to fly home. So he needed to raise some money to do that. So anyway, I said goodbye to him, and this is the last piece of this story.
Oh, it's okay.
So I said, listen, let's make another pact. Why don't we meet in Athens in a month's time? And there we'll go to the American Express office, because all the kids used to get letters and checks from their parents at American Express offices. So we knew there'd be an American Express in Athens.
Yeah.
So we shook on that, and that was great. I jumped ship in Corfu with the blessing of the crew, and went off to Athens, and then from there met a whole new group of people, and we traveled to Egypt, and then back to Athens, and when we bounced around the islands of Greece on the way, and so anyway, met a great group of people, and then the month came up, and I went to find my friend in Piraeus at the American Express office, and he didn't show.
Wow.
And so, well, I mean, the odds of him actually meeting on that time were pretty remote.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to go back up up through Italy and across southern France, maybe go to Spain, Portugal. And so I started on my way, and I had to go through Corfu again to do that. So I went to the B&B, and I'm waiting at the bus. They have a little bus that takes you down to the beach from the Airbnb here, the pen, what do they call it, where all the kids stay, and it was hostels.
Oh, hostel. Yeah.
Yeah, the youth hostel.
Yeah.
So waiting there, and this Robinson Crusoe dude jumps off the bus, and he's dressed in basically a blanket that he's cut out the sleeves, and a rope and a blanket around his back, big bushy beard, long hair, greasy hair. And I said, Derek, and it's my pal from the boat. And he is clearly shell-shocked and not normal. And over the course of the next day or so, I get the story that he had stayed on the boat, as I told you, and they're approaching the Corinth Canal, and the boat catches fire. This beautiful 104-foot racing yacht from the King.
I made the joke earlier that at least the boat was still.
That's it. Yeah. So I had to finish the story. The ship burnt to the waterline.
No way.
And I know this because he showed me a photograph he took from the life raft back at the boat where the boat burning. And the four of them, I don't know where the guests were, but I guess they were in another life raft, hopefully. But it was out of the window of the life raft. This thing actually burnt, and they got picked up by an Italian cruise line.
So part of the reason why I like going into these kinds of stories in this format is because a lot of what you do as a professional is draw on people's experiences to be able to define what their architecture and what their experience is going to look like inside of what you do and how you deliver
Hmm.
it to them. And this lived experience provides so much insight into how you can relate in some ways to what people experience and how you can bring your experiences forward in a way that also emulate theirs, right? There's
Hmm.
those similarities. And the world experience is one element, but also the level of interaction and engagement in random circumstances, understanding how to navigate them. It helps with sales. It
Hmm.
helps with how to manage staff. It helps with how you engage with partners. Like these life experiences inform so much on the professional level at a subconscious, in a totally subconscious way.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's why I think that this stuff is the gold, because if people wonder how you become successful in practice, it's by going out there and living your life in every way possible that you can,
Hmm.
trying things, failing at things,
Taking risks.
and taking risks.
Hmm.
And that's what allows you to go and find yourself, your voice, your experience, your ability to communicate, know what you're good at and what you're bad at,
Hmm.
um, to know when it's time to call it quits, to get off the damn boat
Yeah.
before it burns to the water. Like,
That was
like,
purely luck.
of course it was. But well, I mean, I just,
Mhm.
I'm alluding to the fact that these experiences are what make
Yeah.
you
No,
ultimately
I
land where you are.
hadn't
So,
really thought about it, but yes, yeah, certainly. You asked me earlier about the was I fearful of going out on my own after working for firms,
yeah,
and yeah, and I guess that did prepare me. Just
ever so
that
slightly,
year
right?
of living dangerously sort of set me up to take
So,
risks further on, and
so
yeah,
can we do a short summary of some of the places that you had worked? Let's like I know
yeah,
just based on time,
yeah.
go into a couple of the places that you had worked, having now graduated from a substantial life experience of traveling the
Yeah,
world.
safely making it
Hell,
home.
if
Yeah.
anyone's out there and you're wondering whether or not it's worth it, they're really short novels. Go find Choose Your Own Adventures. They're a lot of fun to read.
Oh, I would
Uh,
like to read that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you remember them? Do you remember those books?
The books, no, no,
Oh,
no.
oh, so they came out. I
Or a
think it
series of
was
books. Yeah.
I think they came out in the 80s.
Hmm.
It was somewhere in the 80s. And what would happen is you'd read the book through the intro and you'd get to a portion of the story, and you would choose if you want to take the raft to go across the river, go to page 64.
Well,
And if you want to try to swim the river, go to page, 42. And then you would read that next section, and then you'd get another option at the end of that section, and then say go to this page, and you would move through your own version of the story to get to the end, and you'd either be successful or you wouldn't be.
oh, interesting.
And they were an incredible series of books that came out, and as a child I was like immersed with Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Huh.
uh,
And you can find them today.
Oh, for sure. If you went, I would have to assume so.
I
If
have
you
to
went to a
look
library,
offline
you'd be
now.
able to find them.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone out
Well,
there who wants to like live vicariously through like your childhood and your youth, and
yeah, without getting hurt.
without getting hurt, yeah, without risking it all. So
But
anyhow, so
oh, quick summary. Yeah, we went when I got back to Winnipeg. I went out to Calgary. Uh,
oh wait, actually, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you again. What was one of the most unexpected and delicious meals that you had, if you can recall? Unexpected, like whether maybe you were fishing off the boat, or you were in the middle of Corfu and you went to a food stand, or like something random that you could potentially draw upon.
well, I guess one meal I remember is a reunion of sorts because after the boat, I ended up in Portugal,
Okay.
wandering down a little cobblestone street in Lisbon, and I passed a BMW.
Come on.
And it was the same
Come
BMW.
on.
And so I went into the next cantina, and there are my pals that I skied with. This is like 3 months later.
What?
When I said goodbye to them in France, 3 months later, after all my experiences, I met them, and so I would say that is maybe a segue into one of the most fun meals I've had
Okay.
in that cantina. With, I don't know, probably refried beans and a whole lot of sangria.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of stomach rot right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. So okay, I mean that's awesome. And as if you're listening right now, you can also appreciate what I said at the beginning and how Brad's just he's great. So okay, so you come back to Winnipeg.
Yeah, well, and then only to find that my girlfriend's moved out west because I didn't write enough letters, and again, a victim of no email back in those days. So I didn't keep in touch with her very well while I was off for a year. And anyway, she'd gone out to Calgary, and her mother said, "Well, if you want her, go get her." And so I went out there, and I wasn't successful with a girlfriend, but I ended up getting a job in Calgary with one of the top architectural firms there, large firm, and started my career there. So I spent 3 years there till the economy cratered in the oil patch, and there were no. Our firm went bankrupt. Actually, 180 people were laid off.
Crazy.
And rolled up the sidewalks. And I walked from my very first mortgage on a house, and it was dire straits, but it was survival. So took a job in Toronto, and waited for the economy to come back, and ended up working for Page and Steel Architects, which is a large firm that still exists.
Yep.
Doing mostly condo buildings, high-rise condos, and then I went with a large interior design firm, called Marshall Cummings and Associates, and then went on my own.
And what year was it then?
1992. I was incorporated.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
it's at least like 3 years ago.
Yeah, three and 30. Yeah.
And what was your first project? What did it look like?
My first project on my own?
Yeah.
It would have been a house or an addition, probably small little additions.
Okay.
Yeah, on little houses in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at what point were you hired to design something for the North?
Oh, Collingwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that even come about?
I segued. I did a fair amount in Toronto.
Okay.
Lawrence Park, Moore Park, in the better neighborhoods. We were doing infill houses, got to know some of the builders in the area, and was their go-to guys for a while. A lot of committee of adjustments and approval processes. But then we always went to Collingwood to ski. We had a ski place up there, or at least my in-laws had, and we used to bunk in with them and raised our kids up there. And over time, people just started asking me to do chalets and homes up in the area. And I've just found there was so much more latitude for creativity. Well, you got a view property either on the water overlooking the lake or up on the escarpment with a view.
So acreage. Like large glazing, being able to take in those vast landscapes.
Exactly. And and a variety of clients that wanted either traditional or very modern architecture. So, even today, our firm is not a signature design firm. We do everything.
Okay.
We like the old post and beam traditional Whistler chalet look, or we can do glass and steel. So we've enjoyed the variety in doing them all.
And you've also somehow, because of all of this, now finagled your way. Is it the right word? I've used that word I think twice now. Finagle? It sounds like the wrong word. You've somehow made your way back into ski culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Well,
it's like a full circle thing from going and experiencing it as a kid, and having those makeshift chalets out of of railway cars
Yeah, exactly.
to experiencing the grandeur of the Alps
Hmm.
and everything else out in Europe,
Hmm.
to then make your way to north of Toronto and Collingwood, which is really like sadly, those are our Alps.
Yeah, that's right. That's all we got. Yeah, that's all
You
we
know,
got.
those are our Rockies.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of fun up there.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But to be able to have the opportunity to go and design really some like spectacular places in a region where the views are so expansive and so interesting,
Hmm.
and you can
You
get
can do something special.
do something special. Yeah,
Nice.
and you've also designed for ski clubs, right?
Yeah, yeah. We did the Alpine. I'm a member at the Alpine Ski Club.
Yeah,
Uh, I know not all listeners are gonna know that Ontario is one of the few places that has private ski clubs. It's rather unheard
many
of anywhere else.
many of them.
Yeah, well, we have five. Yeah, and so yeah, that's we're at one of them in Blue Mountain. So
Yeah,
yeah, and so and these people have the means to build nice houses, and
yeah. It's
so we've gone from little A-frames of the 1970s to 6,000 square foot
right,
custom homes.
right. And what when you started, you were one man, and now what does the team look like?
We've kept it small.
Okay.
It's a boutique little group. We've got three draftsmen, I'm going to
Okay.
say, technologists
Yeah.
that work with me, and I. That's the beauty of what I'm doing is I do all the design,
Okay.
and they're basically my electronic pencils.
It's great.
And, yeah, and they have expertise in how buildings go together.
Yeah.
But I get to do all the creative, which is what I
Yeah. Focusing on what you
wanted to
want.
do. Yeah,
It's
yeah. I wouldn't want to get any bigger. Wouldn't want to change anything.
And what's the average number of projects that you look after at a given time? Is there an average, or is it
Yeah, it
vary?
ebbs and flows with
Yeah.
the economies. We've gone through a number of booms and busts, but we've been fortunate. Collingwood, as you probably know, has been on a growth run for
Huge.
20 years.
Yeah.
So we've never been out of work, which is great, and I haven't ever had to lay anybody off. So that's nice. We probably have about, I'm going to say, 8 or 10 projects
Any
at
given
various
time.
stages.
Yeah. Okay. And outside of all of this now, and running a practice successfully over the last 30 plus years, what do you like to do now for your free time? Have the ambitions changed? You're still skiing, obviously,
Yeah, and still working.
and still working.
70 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like them both.
Okay.
And so I think as I start to, I call myself semi-retired now.
Okay.
I don't feel I work that hard.
Yeah.
But we get the job, we did the work done, and because I'm working ski country, I can take a day and visit clients and ski with them and meet with them up north. I don't have to
beautiful.
be tied to my own. I have a Toronto office because we still, my wife and I still live in Toronto, but we get to escape.
You can experience it.
Mhm.
I want to provide a level of that circular element of what you described earlier to our connection. So a gentleman that I've known for a number of years, his name is Doug, suggested that I reach out to you a number of years ago, and I speak to you because you had done the work on his home.
Mhm.
And for those listening, for the last 100 plus episodes, you've heard a theme song that comes on at the beginning of this. And Doug, our mutual connection, is the gentleman that created that music with me based on some other music that I wanted him to try to draw upon to create it.
Hmm.
So, in a circular way, it's nice to have you on and hear your incredible, like this. Your life story is amazing, and have it cued in by Doug's music at the beginning.
My pal, yeah,
Right?
another Winnipegger actually,
Right?
originally. Yeah.
So Brad, I've got to say thank you so much for doing this. I guess we should also credit your family. Credit some family that has allowed you to go in and flourish and do what you do. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. My wife's been very supportive, and she's an entrepreneur in her own right. She had her own company as well, which
Okay.
she's since sold, but she's in the fitness business, not the design business. So,
Okay.
I don't know how architects marry architects, but I couldn't do it.
And are any of your kids following in your footsteps?
I've got a son that's an urban planner.
Okay.
Yeah, and my daughter's a HR specialist.
Okay.
With a big media company. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
no.
I have to say thank you for taking the time to do this. I'm glad we were able to do it. It's been a pleasure hearing some of these stories. For anyone listening, please make sure that you head over to Instagram, but also you go over to the liner notes. You'll see some links, and you'll be able to, if you want to, you can go check out Brad's website. His work is really beautiful, and he gets to work with some really talented builders at the same time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I look forward to staying in contact.
Thank you very much.